Learned judicial magistrates, trainee officers, brothers and sisters. So you may be thinking, what am I doing here as a resource person? On the last date, we had Miss Rohini Rai also. And some of you may be wondering, what is it all about? So we are actually being trained to be master trainers. And here, I'll just give a small disclaimer. I am no trainer, definitely not a master. But I can for sure say that I'm a master trainee, because I think in this judicial academy I've attended more classes than I've attended during my college also. So today I have more questions to give to you than answers, and I thought, how can I make it different? Then I thought maybe I'll share some cyber jokes, but then most of the cyber jokes are all lame, like your window is open, some sort of lame cyber jokes. So I'll just get directly into the topic. We have cyber laws, digital evidence, and handling of digital evidence. So this session, there are actually two sessions. The topic is divided into two sessions, but actually they overlap, so I'll be mixing it up. So here are cyber laws. Can anyone tell me what they understand by cyber laws? Miss Urvashi? Yes, whatever comes in your mind. Cyber law.
Laws related to cyber.
Exactly, laws relating to cyberspace, cyber activities. It need not only be cyber crime, anything. So, yes. Cyber laws are the laws that govern activities in the cyberspace. Issues like online crimes, you have data protection, digital signatures, electronic commerce, just anything. And I was going through to see what are the cyber laws in the country. And the most important is obviously the Information Technology Act of 2000. So why is this legislation, the main law is because not only it deals with issues of online crimes, cyber crimes, but also other aspects of it, like I said earlier, of electronic commerce, of intermediaries, of digital signatures. So it deals with a lot of things. So for example, Section 43 deals with data theft, virus attacks, piracy, recognized cyber terrorism. It has also defined intermediary. Now intermediary, this is one word that will come across, maybe in future you'll have to deal with such a situation. So the Act defines it as concerning any particular electronic record, means a person who on behalf of the other receives, stores or transmits that record, or provides any service concerning that record, including telecom service providers, network service providers, internet service providers, web hosting service providers, search engines, online payment sites. Then you have online market site. So examples I'll give you is, you have in social media, you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Amazon, Flipkart. So these are intermediaries. So what will happen between a clash in case of IBC and IT Act? A particular series of acts is coming under the definition of both the IT Act and the IPC. So there is a judgment of the Supreme Court, Babu Digu Marti. So when it says that when the ingredients are exactly the same, then it is the IT Act that will prevail,
Special legislation.
because it is a special legislation. But then you'll also find various judgments which says charge can be framed under both sections, because why? The ingredients are slightly different. You'll find those judgments also in relation to other offences. Then this is a new act, Digital Data Protection Act of 2023. So what this act tries to do, the highlights are governs how companies collect and process personal data, requires user consent. For example, when you download an app, then to get that app functional, you are like pressing agree and accept and all that. So all that gives individual rights over the data, imposes penalties over data breaches. So this particular act is a recent act, if you see, 2023, and I must tell you there's a challenge in the Supreme Court also against this act. Why there's a challenge? It gives government the permission to take all your data from the intermediaries on the ground of sovereignty of India, on the ground of public order, those things. Also, you're not required to give any consent, the government can take it. Also, it tries to weaken the Right to Information Act. So on those two grounds, there's a challenge in the Supreme Court, it's still pending.
But यहाँ हाम्रो डेटाहरू जाँदैछ भन्दैछ त्यो चाहिँ अन्डर विच प्रोग्राम
Yes, sir?
हाम्रो डेटाहरू
So you, तपाईँको Digital Personal Data Protection Act मा हुन्छ.
No, amongst those four कुन चाहिँमा चाहिँ हुन्छ
Requires user consent, sir. यसमा तपाईँले when you
No,
are,
but we have not given consent.
when you download an app, so you are actually, if you see,
अच्छा, अच्छा।
so you obviously issue of privacy is coming, and this is a very nice fight I want to tell you about. It's between Apple and the FBI. So I think you almost have read about it, heard about it. The San Bernardino attack in California. What happened was like two Muslim couples. They went into a large gathering with guns and they like just completely went berserk firing people. And 14 people died. So obviously the terrorists, they ran away in a vehicle. Police caught them and shot them down. So one mobile phone was recovered, and that was iPhone 5C. So after FBI recovered the phone, they couldn't unlock it. And now what government wanted was, they wanted Apple to create a special iOS operating system that would disable the security features and so that it can be accessed, the phone can be accessed. Apple by Tim Cook was there at it. So he refused, saying that it would be a backdoor. It would weaken security for all iPhone users. Once created, it would be misused by the governments and hackers. So there's a small cartoon of, FBI, then you have hackers, then you have other government agencies, foreign spies, cyber criminals and terrorists. So it went to court also. So in court, the US court actually ordered Apple to help the FBI. Apple challenged the order, but in appeal, what happened? FBI were able to crack it open, that phone, through some Australian firm by the name of Azumit Security. So the case was withdrawn. So the important questions that come here is, should tech companies assist law enforcement? And where is the limit of state power? So I think these are also in the challenge to that Act of 23, that those issues are also coming. Now what are the kinds of digital evidence? So I have listed some evidence which just came to my mind. If you see emails is a digital evidence. SMS, WhatsApp, social media posts, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Then you have CCTV footages, call recordings, audio recordings, server logs, pictures, documents that are stored in computers. You have mobiles and cloud. So 65B, so I was talking about, right now is 63, it's changed to 63 under the BSA. So what does it require? That for the admissibility of a electronic record or digital evidence, what is required is a certificate. Now the basic contents of the certificate are identification of the record, description how it was produced, details of the device or system from which it was produced, that the device was in regular use, the data was regularly fed, system was functioning properly, signature of the responsible person. So who issues the certificate is the person in control of the device or the system.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Is this identical?
Yes, same.
Yes.
It's the same.
Identical.
Identical. It's become 63 in BSc. We first had the case of Anwar PV versus PK Bashir. It's of 2014. So what this judgment says is that the certificate is mandatory. Then there's another case of 2018, Shafi Mohammed versus State of Himachal Pradesh. The court took a liberal view and said that requirement of certificate is only procedural, not mandatory. Reasoning of the court was,
So did it set aside the?
yes. Reasoning given by the court was, law should not create impossible situations. Justice should not fail due to technicalities. Focus should be on truth and relevance and not rigid procedures. Again, this judgment was set aside. So this is the latest judgment. At number 3, you can see Arjun Pandit Rao, Khotkar versus Kailash Bhushan Rao. This is of 2020 and this is the latest judgment. Till now, whatever other judgments are coming, it's in compliance to this judgment only. So what it says, it reaffirmed that it is mandatory. It also gave some exceptions, clarified some exceptions. So what are the exceptions if you see? When the original device is produced, for example, mobile phone is an original device. Instead of me taking a screenshot and putting a certificate, when the original device is given before me, then certificate is not necessary. Or DVR, for example. This is treated as primary evidence and not secondary. So, when we have something stored in a computer, when the whole system is brought, it is primary. But when you take a printout, it becomes secondary. And that's when certificate is required, only in case of, because it's treated as secondary evidence. When certificate is impossible to obtain, for example, party does not have control over the device or system, cannot reasonably obtain the certificate. Examples are CDR from telecom company. The police keep on putting CDR between the accused persons, but there's no certificate. Why? Because like Airtel will have to give it. It's very difficult to obtain. CCTV footage from a third party. Sometimes third party might have it. They might not give it. So what court has said? The party can apply to the court to summon the person to produce the certificate. That can also be done. Court can allow later filing of certificate. It was not filed with the charge sheet, but before the witness is examined, through a supplementary charge sheet, they file a certificate. It can be allowed.
But that would obviously have been made later on.
Yes.
Right?
That is being
That
allowed.
is permissible.
That is permissible. As per this judgment. So now we are on the next chapter. Handling of digital evidence. So before we jump to this chapter, we'll just go back and I want to ask the learned judges here, how many of you have rejected a CCTV footage on the ground that there was no certificate, 65B certificate? Anyone? I'm sure there must have been such cases before your court.
Yes. Prior to the judgment, when PV Anwar's judgment was not set aside, then I have, but it was mandatory.
Anyone? Madam? Some judgment must have come before. So I think we have all dealt with this case. I recently had one judgment where same thing, the accused could be seen around the theft case, seen around the place of occurrence through the CCTV, but it was not proved because there was no certificate. But nevertheless, he was still convicted because he was found in possession of the stolen items.
And what did you say about that CCTV footage?
So I said it cannot be relied upon. So since he was found in possession, I raised the presumption that a person found in possession of stolen property is presumed to be the thief.
Ask Justice Patel.
Yes, ma'am.
CCTV bundle or can't have it?
So let's deal with, what about WhatsApp? WhatsApp. How much of a reliable evidence is WhatsApp chat?
It is It is reliable because not recently, Supreme Court judgment is there regarding the admissibility of.
It may be admissible, but what is the weightage that you would give a WhatsApp chat?
So I think it depends on how they are proving. There is a judgment of Supreme Court that says usually when WhatsApp messages are produced, they just take the screenshot and the name is reflected, not the number. So Supreme Court has directed to delete the name, saved name first, and then the number should be reflected, so that we can identify the identity that the number
the
is of
number
that
belongs
person
to a
can be
particular
confirmed.
person.
So
Yes.
however they are bringing it, depending upon that, the weightage is given.
So I'll say it is a very weak type of evidence. It's a very weak evidence because tomorrow I'm chatting with Jagat sir, I can put the name of Palin sir and it will show that I'm chatting with Palin sir.
It cannot be a conclusive.
But yes,
piece
the
of
weightage
evidence.
is not there.
That is-
I think similarly, what about audio clip? Audio clip is there. Yeah, yes, I recorded it from my phone and audio clip is there, 65B certificate is there. What will you do?
Again, a weak piece of evidence.
Again, because audio, I think anyone can manipulate audio now. It's,
Especially
AI,
with AI
yeah.
and
and with AI, forget audio, even video. So we are in such a state, actually, these things, it's difficult to deal with it, And I'll come to the handling of digital evidence, then you'll feel like all the digital evidence that we're taking in court is not admissible. If you see the SOP, actually. So,
SOP is what, certified by whom?
SOP is, there's no certification, sir.
No, sorry, drafted or issued by whom?
Yes.
Supreme Court.
So, there is no single codified SOP or act or rule for handling digital evidence, but they are well recognized SOPs issued by agencies and manuals and so key SOP sources in India. We have Ministry of Home Affairs, Cybercrime Investigation Manual is there, advisories for police is there, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center is there. Then you have practical, from there you have a practical SOP for cyber investigation. Then CERT is there, you have incident response and evidence preservation guidelines, National Cyber Crime Portal is there, reporting and handling of procedures. So you have, there's no uniformity, you can say. The SOPs are almost similar, but we as a court, we don't have any straight judgment on SOP or from the government, any rules on SOP that we can follow and apply in the courts. So, and certificate is there, but then the witness is saying, I do not know the contents of, I merely signed it on this. And like, maybe some judges are still accepting that evidence, some may not be accepting it. So, then,
The photo, the picture there, don't forget the victims, you didn't explain that.
that I'll get to. So so I don't like, we are dealing with all technicalities and Supreme Court sometimes, I mean we as judges or in court also, sometimes we forget a crime has happened, that they are victims and we just follow rigid technicalities.
Now
So,
we understand.
so I'll pose one question to you also. Tomorrow there's a murder case. There's a CCTV footage live, mercilessly murdered, and there's no certificate. Will you give acquittal or will you give no other witnesses, only CCTV footage? Will you give acquittal or will you give conviction? These are questions for you to just think about. That's why you put this, just to ask such questions. And so I was told that I should speak for a minimum of 1 hour, but it seems hardly 10 minutes has passed. So I'm again scrolling back to, I'll go back on the lame jokes that I thought I'll start, because I thought like as a trainee, I've never seen any trainer starting or starting their sessions with jokes. So I thought I'll just look at some IT jokes. Then most of them were lame. So I just took a screenshot and I'll just share it with you. So one is, what was the Spider-Man doing on the computer? Anyone?
Web checking.
So yeah, he was making a website.
Website.
Then, why did the computer go to the dentist? to get this Bluetooth checked. Copy footage. The footage, it happens. Sometimes there's only one footage, and what do you do with it? What do you do with it? Defense wants a copy of that footage.
What I
Before
have done
framing
is
charge.
that I've asked the prosecution to supply it to, not from the court's copy, they'll have it in their computer. So I've asked the prosecution to supply to the accused, because accused has the right to view before he prepares for his defense.
So what I normally do is, like, I tell, you can inspect it in the court, watch the video in the court, but no giving copies from the court.
From the court, yes.
Because if you see, like, actually if you go deep into it, no, sometimes the data can change also.
Yes, the
The
hash value.
Hash value can
Hash
change.
value changes, yes.
So
yes.
the thing is, sir,
When you copy it.
one issue that I've noticed is when suppose pen drive, it comes sealed with the charge sheet, right? So when we open, suppose in case of a pen drive of which hash value was already been recorded, but once the seal is broken and we play it, actually we
different
ought
hash value.
to record
The hash
calculate the
yes,
hash
yes.
value.
Right,
But then we do not know. None of the technical stuff they know.
right. Because here it's a question of SOP actually. They don't know the
I think there has to be
handling.
one.
Because normally when digital evidence is collected, hash value is created so that when the courts check it in evidence in the court also checks the hash value and it matches. So when it matches, then the court knows that the data has not been tampered with.
So in one case, I don't know why the ignore करते हैं कि आयु से कि बेड मुनि बड़ा पायो. The two witnesses, they probably drew a blank. जल्दी evidence तो poorly evidence record करेको. Very unfortunate. Never to predict such a type. तो उसले भने बेड मुनि भी कहाँ बड़ा पायो. Evidence में और क्या आइरहेको छ. म हेरिरहेको छु त्यहाँ भिडियोमा. It took me 15 days to write the judgment on the case. अब what do I do as a judge, as a judicial officer? अब भिडियोमा त अर्कै ठाउँ एभिडेन्स अर्कै छ. सो के चाहिँ गर्नु? भिडियो हेरेर पुरै गरेको अब के गर्नु?
Only sir.
What do we do in such cases? I was just curious, किनभने we doing critical cases.
Evidence is recorded for us under oath.
Exactly, that is where उसमा चाहिँ भिडियोमा चाहिँ अर्कै ठाउँबाट आइरहेको छ. So what do we do in that such cases, sir?
So as much even I'm not so sure. Because like I said, I have more questions than answers. So probably my learned seniors here can maybe just share their views.
If the-
Anything, because it will help the class out here.
If a copy of the pen drive is given, the hash value will also be distributed. Oh, if it is given to the defense. When
So, and then another problem I found is like certificate money, everything is
you
there,
can ask the
but there's no seizure. There's no seizure memo.
But they don't keep
Everything is there.
They don't keep it.
Yes, I gave this pen drive containing footage, this is my certificate. But where is the seizure by the police? There's no seizure memo. That is another problem. And it's the same thing, the seizure witnesses will also say, I don't know what I
I
said.
don't know.
That is my signature.
Nobody read it over.
There was one case before my court where they had 65B, everything was there, Caesar was there. However, the video, they had recorded it from their phone, from the computer. They had recorded it and then submitted that. So how can it
That is secondary evidence.
That-
That's what I'm secondary.
So now,
Third evidence probably that will be.
Sometimes what happens is that the pen drive which is come along with the chat sheet, when we play it and the court, it does not play. It says files corrupted, something like that. Then I asked the technical person, what is the reason? Because the IO says that it was there. Then they have said that from CCTV double निकाल्छ instead of copying whole of it, they've just copied that exact portion where the incident has occurred. And त्यो मात्रै copy गरेर आउँछ कोर्टमा चल्दै चल्दैन. And court has Ubuntu as the OS operating system. So that is also one of the problems.
The judge says, okay.
Oh, just
Keep on. And sometimes what happens, because sir was on the mic, I thought he wants. What happens sometimes in the charge sheet, they write 2 pen drives, kunike, and charge sheet, विटरमा 4 pen drive या 5 pen drives. So and like, what happened? So we have such problems, and now let's just get back to this.
तीनटा स्लाइड मात्रै त होइन नि.
I'm I'm just seeing if I missed out anything.
Missed out. This time I missed out. 2 months after, sir.
Yes, agencies of the government are
Sir,
issuing various SOPs.
Which do you follow in case?
So I have like, what I've done, I've like made one having all the similar
No, no.
SOPs.
Is there any judgment?
There's nothing, sir. There's nothing. That's
Any,
the,
not Supreme Court, any of the High
no,
Courts?
sir, no, sir. There's no such. So these are the general SOPs that I could find out.
Faraday bag.
And people might ask, what is a Faraday bag? So I thought I'll put a picture of Faraday bag and show you. It's actually a bag where you put a computer or a mobile or whatever, then network is completely cut off. Connections are completely cut off. Someone else cannot alter the data out there. So first you have identification, SOP, mostly for the investigation side, but few of it, I think you'll find it useful to you.
इसको cheap version से aluminium foil sir. Faraday का. I no sir, just saying. I know. Faraday foil.
No, I'm not suggesting that officers buy such a bag, but identification.
More like searching for
No, I didn't mean it in that way, sir.
First we identify the potential evidence, like mobile phones, laptops, hard drives. These are, I think these are all talking about the primary evidence out here. Preservation. You isolate the device and or put it in airplane mode or in a Faraday bag. Disconnect the network, then secure power supply for volatile data, then maintain the original state of evidence. Then seizure. Follow legal procedures, search and seizure. Like I said, seizure has to be done. Without seizure, you can't just put in digital evidence. So this is somewhere, most of the times, police persons, they don't put any seizure memo for digital evidence, although they have the certificate and all that. So I will have to mention the device, the IMEI number, the serial number, all that. Chain of custody has to be maintained in any evidence, I think, drugs especially. In any evidence, chain of custody has to be there. Must be unbroken. Then what happens when they take it to the lab? Then, for example, a mobile phone, it's seized. They take it to the lab and what they do imaging or cloning. They clone it. They create another copy of it and then they scroll inside and check all that without touching the original. So imaging, they have all those tools in forensic labs. I've been there to Calcutta, I've been to Delhi, I've seen some of it, how it's done. That is there. Then write blockers are there where they put a certain blocker, then the data can be changed only. Those things are there. Then hash value generation, like we spoke about. There are you have devices also which create the hash value, and you have some softwares or online pages where you can create a hash value, take out the hash value. So it looks something like this. An hash value is there for any file, video, audio, even a text file, any file has a hash value. Then obviously the forensics, they do analysis and all that, and everything is you have to document everything. Then certificate, 63 BSc 65, then presentation in court. We have that. So far, whatever I have covered, is there any question like anyone wants to ask, we can discuss? It's an open question to the house. And anyone can give the answer. Anything? Especially the trainee judges. You'll be joining your courts in probably August. That's what I heard. August, or is it? Mr. Ashit? September. So September you'll join and then some doubts might be there. What do you want to do? How should you proceed in certain situation? No questions at all? Anything? Cyberspace, some basic cyberspace terms and concepts. So you have cyberspace, a virtual environment created by interconnected computers, networks and digital systems. Let's go to IP address. Can you see the diagram I've made? If you see, niche there are like computers, laptops and computers. Each has a number, so that is the IP address. Each device connected on a computer has a certain IP address. It will have a number. That's how, if you do something, then they can catch it as you because of the IP address.
Do something.
Something illegal using the device. Then encryption, process of converting data into unreadable form to prevent unauthorized access. And firewall is a security system that monitors and controls network traffic. It protects your computers. Antivirus, anti-malware is similar. Malware, you have virus, worm, Trojan, ransomware, any malicious software. Phishing, this is like phishing, proper F-I-S-H-I-N-G, phishing. It's similar, fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information by means of impersonation or any other means. Ransomware is the malware that locks data and demands payment for release. Identity theft, stealing personal information for fraud. I think identity theft is, it is something which is not completely unheard of. Someone has hacked your Facebook and is using your profile.
In fact, recently all honorable judges were recently online thing come. Only Prajwal ji बोल रहे हैं, Prajwal Khatiwada ji बनी ये कौन बोल रहा है? So this article is अब he knew that I was expecting something. Are you today? बने रहते हैं somebody. Then costume someone who claims to be me being me, the atypical me. त्यसमा कल गरे कि यु वन्ट बिलिभ गाइस स्क्रिनमा कुनै के आयो डिसमिस भयो मैले सोचे कि समथिङ त्यो डिसमिस थिएँ मैले मलाई डाउट चाहिँ हुँदै थियो र कसैले फोन गर्दा अरे आपका फोन पुरा स्विच अफ आ रहा है भने कमर चिफ जस्टिसहरुबाट इज एभ्रिथिङ ओके वाइ समवन एल्स इज टकिङ भन्छ देन लकीली जो मङ्गन उसमा यसपछि चाहिँ खुसी लाग्यो त्यसको पनि ह्याक गरेछ देन मैले बाई वे अफ एभ्रिथिङ कसन मङ्गन थानामा जानु भएन हो आई सेन्ड समवन लकीली त्यहाँ मिस्टर प्रशान्त राई हुनुहुँदो रहेछ एन्ड दिस मिस्टर प्रशान्त राई ह्याड डन सम हाम्रै एकजना जजको पैसा के हुँदा उसले त्यो मान्छे पक्रेर ल्याएको पनि रहेछ नाम थियो कि कहाँ हुँदा त हि न्यू अबाउट अल दिस रहेछ त ओ सरलाई यसो गर्नु लगाउनु आइसेड मेरै कम्प्युटरको मान्छेहरू यसो यसो गर्नु लगाउनु भने देखेँ म त एक्सर्साइज गर्दै थिएँ होइन आएर फोन दिनु पनि अब कुनै व्यक्तिहरू पनि विश्वास लाग्दैन भन्ने मैले सबै ह्याकेर मात्रै छ हो लु भने मेरै अगाडि गर भन्ने मैले दे एक्चुली वेन्ट टु सम थियो एन्ड द्याट नम्बर आई हेभ स्टिल सेभ्ड इट जस्ट बी केयरफुल जजेस स्पेसली दोज हु आर डुइङ सेन्सिटिभ केसेस कस्तो नम्बर थियो भने कस्तो उल्लु मान्छे नि म हेर्नुहोस् है तपाईँ इट्स एनीबडीज गेस नि होइन *21 *748 4833481 hashtag. I actually called it on that number. एककै रिङमा भरे what they told me was मैले जे स्क्रिनमा हेर्दै थिएँ someone was already accessing it. बुझ्नुभयो नि सो त्यो गरे उसले डिसेबल हो कि के गरिदियो एन्ड आफ्टर द्याट लाइक बुझ्नुभयो नि तपाईँ एप्पलको फोन आई नो इट्स अब्सोल्युट होइन बट स्टिल वर्किङ तर अब एप्पलको फोन पनि त्यस्तो गर्नु सक्छ वी अल निड टु बी केयरफुल ल यु जस्ट थ्रु यर हेलो प्लेटफर्म मैले यो मतलब भन्दै
Thank you sir, because I think
just by clicking that ring or something came, I said dismiss. Obviously anyone would press dismiss. Right? Actually चाहिँ मेरो फोन त्यो 2 दिनको चाहिँ whoever did it क्लोनिङ सबै गर्नु लागोस् न भनेर के गर्नु त्यस्तो you have to be careful.
And I think this is not the first case, such case before the judiciary. I think
And
some of us are
the
aware.
fool that I am, guys, on a lighter vein again. Exactly 10 years back, when I was in Mangan, नाम्चीबाट मङ्गन पठाएको थियो त्यसले मलाई किन डिस्ट्रिक्टमै त बुढो भएको म होइन अन्त नाम्चीको अकाउन्टमा डिटेल्स माग्दै थिए फर सम रिजन आई फरगट त वान कल केम सर हेर्नुहोस् दिस पिपल आर सो रिलेटेड ब्याङ्कको मान्छे सर अब प्रज्वल कतिवटा बोल रहे त्यसरी हिन्दीवाला म त सोचेँ त्यहाँ नाम्चीको म्यानेजरले फोन गर्यो होला सर एक ओटिपी आएगा भन्यो ठिकै छ त मैले ओटिपी पनि दिएँ साथीले 20,000 एटेम्प गरेछ 2,000 पनि थिएन होइन त्यति बेला अब यो चाहिँ मैले लाइटर विनमा भने अब यसको अर्को चिज चाहिँ जो हाम्रो जजेसमा सेन्सिटिभिटीको लागि यु वन्ट बिलिभ गाइज वाट ह्यापन अब म अगेन द सेम म होइन फुल अफ माइसेल्फ मैं अपना सबसे फेभरेट हूँ भने जस्तै होइन जब डिबेटमा अब कम्प्लेन गर्नु त थानामा कस्तो लाज अलि डिस्टेन्स नै उतै भयो त्यति बेला गाइज वाट आई रियलाइज यु नो पोक्सो भिक्टिमहरू रेप भिक्टिमहरू कसरी चाहिँ उनीहरू चाहिँ एफआइआर रिपोर्ट गर्दो एन्ड द्याट थिङ वाज एन आई ओपनर इट मेड मी मोर सेन्सिटिभ टु माई मिसफर्चुन आई मे बी दि maximum पोक्सो सक्ने मान्छे despite being away from judicial work for 3.5 years. तर that day I learned, sir, honorable judges, I learned हामी चाहिँ यो पोक्सो हामी at times we just become mechanical नि अलिकति सेन्सिटिभ छ कस्तो साह्रो पर्दो रहेछ त्यहाँदेखि त्यति बेला कर्मै युडेन म्याम हाम्रो दुप्छिन सबके छोरी पर्सनल रिलेसन चाहिँ त्यो मैले बोलाएँ कम ओभर म्याम भने नेम इज पिङ्की होला प्रब्लम चियाको लागि उसकै अगाडि लेखेर I wanted it to be in थानाको रेकर्डमा so त्यो त्यसमा चाहिँ एउटा लेसन लर्न चाहिँ त्यो थियो सो ट्वाइस यो साइबर मलाई ट्राई गरेँ दुइटै मैले टाइमली उठे गरेँ आई डोन्ट हाउ मच डेटा दे मस्ट हेभ रिट्रिभ्ड अर टेकन बट दिस टु इन्स्टेन्सेस आई थट स्पेसली विथ दि नोइसिएट्स एन्ड ग्रिन हर्न्स आई विल शेयर इट हुन्छ यस सर नाउ यु क्यान
We have had, this is not the first time, like I said, a couple of years back. So I think not all of us, some of us, we received WhatsApp messages by some person purporting to be a judge and asking for monetary help. And actually, you know, it worked out. Someone did end up transferring the money. And so you'll have to be careful. And
Achha, sir, I'm just curious, how does that hacker or someone know that we are known to some person? Yeah, we are under somebody's authority. कसरी चाल पाउँछ?
so usually के गरेको छ भने चाहिँ they have seen our websites, and in our websites all our information is given, including our phone numbers.
This could FMP came, the complaint was made by District They traced it as some Nigerian group of scammers, but no particularly from where they started. I know which one.
I think madam is talking about a separate one because while I was at CJM, so that case had come to me, and then the accused had appeared. Accused was from somewhere in South India, a young fellow, and so there was a compromise between the victim and the accused, and that's how I compounded the matter. That I'll share later. So I don't want to give the names, but it can happen with anyone. And in between also, emails were coming in, official emails also. So and so, some lawyer from Darjeeling, his wife is working in Sikkim, and they are doing this. Some different sorts of things keep coming. So. And one thing I've noticed as CGM is a lot of FRTs are coming, mostly in relation to theft and IT related cyber crimes. And in cyber crimes, the police don't know anything, they cannot do anything. Because forget Sikkim police, I think as India also, we are lagging far way behind than the scammers, they are always 2 steps ahead or 3 steps ahead or many steps ahead. It's impossible to detect such cyber crimes. Very difficult. And most of the cases come as FRT. So, but new thing I've noticed, which learned district judges may not be aware, there is the National Cybercrime Portal where you can lodge a complaint that I was scammed so and so. I've lodged FIR also, and this is the money, this is the account I transferred it to. And probably, I don't know whether you can directly lodge a complaint or it's done to the police, but once it is registered, then the transferee's account is frozen, the scammer's account is frozen. And that money frozen in the sense, it is seized under that case. What happens then, the victim can actually approach the magistrate for release of that money. Like, for example, simple vehicle release you file. Similarly, that is my money, please release it to me.
But one
And I have released several monies like in this month.
Supreme Court has recently passed in this case also regarding this freezing of the thing. You cannot freeze the entire amount of the scammer. Only the amount which is being
the amount
scammed.
which is obviously
That's 1 lakh has been scammed from you, only that much, and the scammer has 7 lakhs in the account, and 7 lakhs in entirety can't be freezed.
And I think the magistrate should be very strict with this also, not just allow it. You'll have to find some satisfaction that yes, you put in that money is yours. That satisfaction you have to show it in your order before the release. So this is a new thing actually. And from the High Court also there's an order.
Yes.
of when service
Traditional
like
FIR is not mandatory.
Correct.
Tapali भन्नुभएको छ. Traditional FIR is not mandatory. National Crime
No, the
Bureau मा भएको.
The DIG comes and says, sir, you have blocked me. Please unblock me. Your information says. So I blocked him also. Taking your idea. म चाहिँ कोहीसँग मन दुखेर ब्लक गरिदिइहाल्छु
Yes.
यहाँ तिमीलाई भन्छु हेर मैले तिमीलाई ब्लक त्यही उयो होइन यस्तो यस्तो फेरि अनब्लक द मोमेन्ट यु सी आई ब्लक यु मैले त मन दुखायो म कोहीसँग रिसाउने त कामै छैन होइन
So, Prajwal, so as like he wound up, he's been hacked. Anyone else who has been hacked?
My
Phones
husband
are.
has been, not me. My husband.
Can you just share like?
Brother.
I'm
I'm sorry.
Oroshi madam, can you just please share?
Actually, he was careless. Wow, he was with the patients. Only army but impersonating as army personnel. The person called saying that मैं इतना आदमी भेज रहा हूँ, मेरा 10 आर्मी जवान को, क्योंकि उन लोगों को ट्रेनिंग के लिए भेजना है, तो 10 को उनका डीप चेकअप के लिए तो आपके यहाँ पे भेज रहा हूँ. That he was with the patient and said, हाँ हाँ ओके ओके, तो उसके लिए मैं आपको ये UPI का वो भेज रहा हूँ, आप सिर्फ लाइक वो क्या अग्री कर दीजिए, so that वो पैसा आपको 10,000 में एडवांस दे रहा हूँ, like that's what he said. He was like, हाँ okay then he received that, and instead of saying accept, he said paid र accept मा त्यो busy हुँदाखेरि पे गरेछ कि 10,000 गयो भन्नुस् न, and that's how they scam.
तपाईँले अलिक दिन त जिनाराम गरिदिनु भयो So did he get it?
No sir,
So how much did he get?
10,000.
Anyone else? Maybe your Facebook account got hacked or something. That is very common these days, Facebook account especially.
WhatsApp पनि ह्याक हुन्छ
That I don't know. But I think anything is possible.
But they say encrypted हुन्छ
So only the message is end-to-end encrypted. The message.
You know, Mr. Prashant Rai, what he conveyed to me was, त्यो 2 दिन मैले not WhatsApp, कुनै केमा जे त्यो गरेँ त्यो सबै त्यो उता जे मेरो स्क्रिनमा छ त्यो ह्याकरको स्क्रिनमा पनि छ अन्त वेदर अहिले पैसा ट्रान्जेक्सन गरेको थिएन 1,500 1,500 को चाहिँ गरेको थिएँ मैले तर त्यो धन्न केही चाहिँ आएको छैन
पासवर्डहरू देखेन
त्यो चाहिँ को नि अब त्यही टिचर डिटेक्ट भनेको
Future, I think so.
फर्स्ट टाइम मैले
They must have.
Change
So it's better. So we'll probably change and get a new phone. I think.
यो वाला पहिले इन्ट्रेस्टिङ अब पेसेन्टको थियो भने ए those patients come
No sir.
I think Mr. Adarsh, you also would share
Yes.
something.
If I may,
started.
so this thing regarding that, it has recently crashed. I'll pay tomorrow. Kind could you kindly pay me 20,000? And this was by Mr. Dilli Sapkota, AO. And
From West.
yes. And I was in a program last time, I think some weeks ago. And since I was in a program, I said I'll call you after some time. I can send you the money. It's not an issue. But then I was a little shocked because he never asked for money. So when I called afterwards, he said, I have not asked for any money. I have not sent any message. And I asked him to check his WhatsApp, and he said, WhatsApp is asking me to log in again, and everything's gone. And then after 5 minutes, I find out that one of my colleagues has already paid 5,000, and he has been scammed. But then what we did is we called the bank. We first froze his account, and then we called 1930. We gave all the details, and like everything was done. I think he received. I never checked, but I think he received. But that guy was, what he was doing was he was kind of doing in a daisy chain kind of thing. He was asking someone for money, and not just money. He was asking them to provide an OTP as well. And with that 6-digit code, you can get into WhatsApp, and then your WhatsApp is logged out, and then WhatsApp login goes to that person, and you have to wait for 1 day before you can access WhatsApp again. And in that time, he manages to send messages to everyone in your contact in English. And then I think one tool that you can use there is you reply in Nepali. He doesn't understand Nepali, so I used that trick as well. So he didn't understand, he didn't reply to me at that time. So I think that is one thing that we must take care of. No sharing OTP. And when sir said *21*, that is call forwarding. And you should never dial something with star unless you know what you're doing. So *21 stands call forwarding. Your call, anyone can call you, it goes to that person. So your OTP that comes in calls and everything, that will go to that person, that number, that phone number, 10-digit number after *21*. So that you can check in the settings as well if your call is being forwarded. And for that you can do *#21#. So with that code you can check if your call is forwarded or not. I think for information.
Thank you, Mr. Adarsh. Thank you for sharing.
I thought that I'll share it. We can enable two-factor authentication, no? त्यो गर्यो भने पनि WhatsApp hack गर्न सक्दैन नि. One stay with your face or your whatever the passcode, and two-factor गर्दाखेरि we can do that, no?
We have a PIN, security PIN as well,
Yes,
6-digit PIN.
And
We can set that as well, because whenever you log into a new device, or like after every 3 months or something, they'll ask you to enter the security PIN, so that even if you give the OTP that comes on your mobile as SMS, you have to add that security PIN as well. So I think that is a very important thing.
phone खोलेर WhatsApp खोलेर.
Urvashi ma'amलाई committee certificate चाहिँदैन.
No, sir.
So,
No,
like
sir, that
Madam
would be
said,
helpful for all of us.
two-factor authentication, including face recognition. So my question is, can a picture of a person open a mobile?
होइन ट्विन्सको हुँदो रहेछ नि. ट्विन्सको हुँदो रहेछ. ट्विन्स
Can a photograph?
Because when your phone first registers your Face ID, सब एनालॉग your phone asks you to.
So I've taken a perfect picture of madam and shown it to madam's phone. Will it open?
It
My
won't.
phone has a.
I think honestly tried will not know. But that's just a question which came to my mind. Probably it may not, because it may read your
the sensor,
eyes actually.
oh, that's what.
Eyes probably. Retina. Anything from the training judges? That we all are very quiet.
They are waiting for return cyber attack को सुधारने.
Anything, Mr.
There's something.
Just share anything.
Something.
Mr. DK, actually Mr. DK and Ms. Esa helped me in preparing some of it, the material.
DK भनेको को Dev
Kumar. No, Mr. Dev, anything, just speak on anything, or you can add on anything.
So I just want to share one incident that happened with me. So, actually, the product that I had ordered was prepaid, and then I all of a sudden got a call saying that the amount that you had prepaid has not been deducted. It will be returned to you by the delivery boy who is coming to deliver the product. In the meantime, I'll send you the QR code and you kindly make the payment again. So that was one incident that I had to face.
So, So I think we all have to be very cautious nowadays, especially because the scammers and hackers, what they're doing nowadays, they're through normal everyday, through delivery, like so said, through all those means, through your order being
but sir,
returned.
you online को
The-
how are they getting information? You bank को तो कोई बैंक को मान्छेले भन्यो.
Exactly, like
Online को how do they know कि आज delivery हुँदैछ? यो चीज अचम्म लाग्यो मलाई.
त्यही नै हो
No,
sir.
I think I think they had the main Amazon or the data, they get it from there.
त्यही हो sir. The data, nowadays data is like sold everywhere.
Yes.
Data is sold everywhere, sir. That's why all this act is also relating to that only. Data. Data is actually transferred between companies also. It is paid for and transferred.
Very highly paid.
यो अन्त डेटा भयो.
So that's like the big.
Deep web, dark web मा त धेरै छ.
And
हाम्रो
will-
यो साइबरको चाहिँ विनय सर हुनुपर्थ्यो. यो डिलिङ लोट अफ थिङ्स के के आइडिया छ उहाँलाई?
So let's deal with, like Madam said, cyber deep web. Is it here? So what we use is only the top part. You can see where the penguin is there, and the cyberspace is actually that big. So our normal browsers that we use, it can only read and access only the upper portion of it. There are special browsers and networks which can access the other parts of it. And it is in the other parts that all the illegal activities and transactions are happening. That's why it's given the name dark web.
Deep web.
Deep is like aligati testimony, and even deeper you can go to dark web. Where anything is purchased. You can buy guns, you can sell guns, you can everything under the sun.
And the
Anything.
transaction happens in Bitcoin, isn't it?
Yes.
Everything happens.
In
See, Bitcoin is done in surface web.
No, the transaction in deep web
But how is it
happens in
delivered?
Bitcoin.
होइन.
Bitcoin is in surface web.
Javan sir, look, dark web we ordered drugs.
Yes.
How is it delivered? Drugs or guns or
It
whatever?
will be delivered.
Delivered to
अब
the
त्यो
normal courier.
कसरी गर्छ त्यो त अब
Bitcoin transaction,
you
what are your
know, like-
like that? So they have a connection chain.
उनीहरूको connection हुन्छ.
We cannot access
Deep web,
only
dark web.
dark web. We can't.
There's a browser called Onion browser.
Is there.
So if you use Onion browser, you can actually access the dark web.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it? You don't
Yes.
But it's not advisable to do it because
But your
It-
this thing will
because all the hackers are there.
Got buttons.
It's there. They are all there. As soon as you log in and all, they'll take away all your credentials and everything. That expert people are there, and they don't use simple internet like us, which is very slow. Theirs is like super speed internet they use. They can one website they have, another second that website is gone, another website they are opening. It's like that's what I've been told. I haven't tried it. And I'm sure if you go to the dark web, Monos, you might just be alerted. FBI might be alerted. They might think, oh, this computer is using this. It's like that. And even FBI and the investigation agencies, they are there in the dark web waiting for people. I need that. It's real actually, all these things. Automa last, but it's real. Everything is there. Videos, everything is there. And like Madam said, Bitcoin, yes, if I'm using Bitcoin to buy slaves or human trafficking, then
Buy
obviously it will
slaves?
happen. Human trafficking, it will happen in the dark web, all those transactions. But normal Bitcoin transaction is there in the surface web.
Dark web, deep web, transaction.
And anyone wants to add further? Anything more? It's quite interesting actually. Youngsters are more into computers and Mr. Adarsh, something
Deep dark web मा छ कोही?
before the session started, I told Mr. Adarsh like you'll have to help me out. So Mr. Adarsh, he'll know more about it.
So in the last session, like only session that I had conducted, also I had talked about a little about dark web and deep web. So so surface web is
What is your good name? Are you
others.
Adarsh?
What we browse normally. everything that we use from X to Facebook and Instagram and everything, every banking transaction that we do. Then what happens beneath the surface, everything is called deep web, and then within that deep web there is something called the dark web. We normally cannot access the deep web. We can if you use the Tor or the Onion Ring browser. So it has, like the Onion, it has lots of layers. That's why it's called the Onion Ring. And layer by layer we can go inside and we can visit the deep web. Going to the deep web is not a crime by itself, but then there you never know when you enter the dark web. And then if you enter the dark web without protection, because the Tor browser is not enough, you need lots of security, lots of protection. Because if you enter without protection, then you may be, your data may be hacked. You never know, what data is taken from you, what data is stolen. And there is a very interesting anecdote here, not my story, but then a story that I read on Reddit some years ago. So one guy had, explored the dark web. He thought, using the Tor browser is enough. He explored the dark web and he was chatting with someone regarding drug delivery. And during that time, he thought that they would not be able to identify him, locate him. So he was misbehaving with the handlers. And I think it was not. Yeah, it was the next day. The next day, he heard a knock on his window, and that person was the dealer itself. So they got his location, his address, pinpoint to his house, to his window, using just his IP address and all the details that he had, because he did not know that he was sharing all those details just by going to the dark web. So I think this is somewhere we should never tread. The surface is enough for us. So just sharing an
So the dealer came and what? Godesa?
And so he had written that he had lots of sleepless nights because he threatened. The dealer came and threatened, and he came with guns and everything. So that was a story from.
So we can. So that's what I've written. So it's like any again file, video, whatever will have a certain metadata. When it was made, which year, which time it was made, all that information is there. And this also you can take out through some websites, some softwares are there. You can take out the metadata. And I think by coding it also, if you know coding in your computer, that way also you can take it out. If you know coding.
You don't need to know coding. AI does everything nowadays.
No, AI may give you a wrong result. So I think everyone knows about the AI judgment, no? I wonder what happened to that judge who wrote that judgment. Because he had quoted some judgments which were not in existence. And it became a news not only for judges, but I think even common people who were like big club. So I don't know, probably some action may have been taken against that judge. Probably. So look it up. What happened to that judge? Okay. Digital signature, everyone knows. Everyone has a digital signature issued by the office. But I don't think anyone has actually used it. Like steno probably. Stenole, digital. I didn't think steno is using it. So that is actually quite important. You should keep it with you. It can be misused. If that is used, it will be your signature only. It will not. You can't say that. Why I didn't sign it.
But secondly, just a problem right now.
Raj.
Or what would they do it, for example?
Just anything.
Bail order they could have.
Anything, I think.
Maybe some certificate. Some certificates of
Power of
power of attorney.
But then can we use our digital signature for any other purpose apart from the court
Yes.
documents?
I think
we cannot.
I think when you are doing your signing online forms, you can do it.
So that is why there is no
Online forms there is.
risk. There is no risk.
Online forms you can use your digital signature.
No, if we give it to the state, no.
Non-judicial work you can use it for certain. I don't know whether that digital signature can be used for non-judicial work.
Yeah, that is why there
But
is
digital signature is not only used by judicial officers, it's used by corporations and big companies, and they use it.
But then, हाम्रो भनेको एउटा मान्छेको individual, either being a judge, not being a judge,
one digital signature. This, you can use it for your corporate purpose also, for any purpose.
So I can't have a private one?
No, sir.
You
No,
can-
sir.
That
That
is
is your
yours.
name. That is only
So we can use it for any other purpose
Yes.
apart from
Yes,
the food.
yes.
No, why are you so excited to use it for?
You are, maybe,
Sir, I don't want to take responsibility.
you're not advised to do it, but it can be used.
It can be used.
Mr. Adesh will throw some light on this.
Any inputs?
Okay. Anyone? Digital signature?
See, this judicial signature.
See, it's not that we can't use it for any other purpose.
The authority or not.
Yes, obviously we are, it's like,
To be
we are
responsible.
given a vehicle, we are supposed to use it only for official purpose, but we may use it in
Other purposes.
going for an outing also. It
Understand?
can be done, but you should not do it. That's the,
गाडी कुठं पुढंच बसलो, स्टॅम्प पुढं बसतो.
then,
तर civil justice teaching process.
no, what I'm saying is, it can be done, but it should not be done.
Standard, it's official. Signature is personal money.
No, but our digital signature. It is used to know that there is, you have no problem.
I was very.
Okay, now, so we'll move to the next topic, next term, which is cloud computing. They are not.
I know that he's a
I think the session will end at 3. So we have 5 minutes and probably there will be a IT, right? There is a IT after this. So I think we are still stuck in
Just because हामी छ भने IT थोडी न normal टी नै हो.
normal. So I think we are done with digital signature. We'll move to cloud computing.
He is so happy keeping us busy.
Anyone cloud? You have heard about cloud?
So
Cloud my data
proxy
stores,
server
right?
भनेको चाहिँ proxy server.
Proxy is like, sir,
Literally I can understand, but what is it, proxy server?
so you are not accessing that for, as
Okay.
directly you're not going to that website, you're using some other means and some other website to go to that website. That's the simple way to.
Let's sort this out.
Cloud computing, cloud data. Do you want you get messages on your phone, no? That your cloud storage is full or something
I
like that.
subscribe through like iCloud.
Do you want to improve your?
So what do we do in that? We say yes.
So it means
So-
you are basically subscribing or your data is saved in
So what is happening is obviously we are short of storages.
physical.
So all your data is being stored in the cloud. Ma'am, the cloud was there. Obviously, it's not in the cloud. You can access it through the internet.
Cyberspace.
You can access it through the internet, but the data is actually stored in hard drives, big, huge hard drives, factories of hard drives. What you are doing is you are just going online and you are using that data.
आफ्नै data.
So it's not stored somewhere in the computer, in the sky or in the networks. It is stored in physical hard drives.
Can that
That's
be?
the- Yes, if the hard drive is hacked, so all those big companies, they have like huge hardwares, there's warehouses where like full of hard drives, full of data of people all around the world. That is cloud storage. You as a user will obviously subscribe and they allow you to store your data whenever you want it. Online apply garden, flatted data hai. But it's actually stored physically. Physically, but in hard drive. Then VPN. Mr. Adesh, can you help me in this VPN?
VPN, virtual private network, normally, so if we want to connect to some server, or not directly, like this is kind of a tunnel created between you and the server, a direct tunnel where others cannot interfere. So it's a virtual private network, because nothing on the internet is private actually, but then virtually this is a private network that you can transfer data between the server and yourself. Normally it is done through all those keys. They are VPN keys that is shared between server and client.
Can you tell us in simple terms? बुझ्नै पर्नाले भन्नुहोस्
So this is like एउटा टनल जस्तो क्रिएट गरेको सर एउटा सिम्पल उयसमा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब
So this is in a public network or in your private?
No, you can do it any way you want. Like in a public network, in internet as well. Suppose you want to access a website that is not available in your country, suppose, and you can use VPN. You can get the IP address of a different country, and then you can access that website. So there is this tunnel, there is this private line between you and the website using that VPN service.
So basically, I think in India, for example, basic example, if the TikTok is banned in India, we can just access VPN, show our location to any other country like in Nepal or around wherever, and then we get access to that website. Since it's banned in our country, we can use VPN and then through that we get access to any website that is not available within our search.
Like in court also, in Pakyong we do not have this NICnet, NICnet. So VPN go through, but so
Yes, ma'am.
we
Yes, ma'am.
get this internet. So that's how it is.
Is it legal?
Interesting.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Showing location from other country and we access it.
And one thing
And
this is related to WhatsApp. One thing I saw was like when you're connected over the same Wi-Fi, certain apps if I'm sending message to Urvashi Madam and Mr. Palan has used that software, the message I'm sending to Ms. Urvashi goes out there also. Because I have seen it. I don't know how people are doing it, it happens. So you'll have to be careful when you're on the Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. Please be careful, especially airports.
Airports.
You plug in even chargers, when you plug in, data is being transferred.
Transfer, true.
Of course,
Airports is
everything is so scary.
So I think today's session we had the jokes and the scary part also, and a bit of knowledge. So I think we are done for the program. So I would like to thank you.